What if a pregnancy never ends? For Eleanor Vance, this is no riddle, it's her life. For 16 years, her body has been a vessel for something that refuses to be born. The world outside moves on, but inside Eleanor, time is frozen. Doctors call her case impossible, but Eleanor lives with the impossible every day. She feels its weight, its silent presence, a constant companion. 16 years ago, she was full of hope. The pregnancy test was a celebration. She and her husband David painted a nursery, bought a crib, chose names. The first months were normal, then the due date passed. Weeks became months, months became years. The nursery gathered dust. David left, unable to cope. Now Eleanor is alone with her perpetual pregnancy. The world sees her as a medical marvel, a walking tragedy. Her body is stretched to its limits, suspended in a permanent third trimester. Muscles ache, her skin is marked by years of endurance. But the deepest strain is psychological, the weight of the unknown. What is she carrying? Why won't it leave? The questions echo in her empty house. Every morning she wakes and for a moment forgets. Then the weight reminds her. Hope flickers, then fades. Each day is a careful routine. She avoids mirrors, shuns the stares of strangers. The world reminds her of what she is not. A mother, a normal woman. She is something else. A living exhibit, on display for over 5,000 days. Her life is a cycle of waiting, her body a monument to endurance. She is not just waiting for birth, she is waiting for an answer. The silence inside her is louder than any cry. She is a vessel for a life that will not begin and will not end. 16 years and still counting. The world moves on, but Eleanor remains suspended in time. Sire, Eleanor's body is no longer hers. It's a landscape shaped by the entity within. Every movement is careful, deliberate, her home, a maze of obstacles. Simple tasks are monumental. Her spine is a permanent arc of endurance. Friends and family try to help, but they cannot understand her bond with the occupant. It's not just size. Her heartbeat sinks with a slower, deeper pulse from her core. Doctors record this faint, secondary beat, but can't explain it. Sometimes, at night, she feels it resonate through her bones. A low, ancient hum. Her senses have changed. She craves earth, clay, charcoal, hungers she cannot ignore. She eats to feed the other, not herself. The most disturbing part, the stillness. No kicks, no flutters, no movement. For 16 years, the occupant has remained perfectly still, a dense, solid mass. This unnatural stillness frightens her most. A baby is supposed to move. This thing waits, patient and inhuman. Its stillness is a message, a silent declaration of power. Eleanor is both prisoner and warden, her body no longer her own. The occupant's patience is a chilling reminder it is in control. Who or what is Eleanor's silent partner? The question haunts every moment. At first everyone assumed it was a child, but as years passed, dread replaced hope. The thing inside her didn't grow as expected. After a year its size stabilized. It simply remained, a constant, unchanging presence. David, her ex-husband, once talked to it, desperate for a sign. He called it the stone. The silence became a symbol of their failed dream. Eleanor stopped thinking of it as a baby. Now it's just the occupant. Is it alive? It must be. Her body sustains it. It has a faint, slow heartbeat. But its life is one of absolute stillness, profound patience. It seems to be waiting for something only it will recognize. The psychological bond is complex. She is its host, protector, and prisoner. Sometimes she feels protective. Other times she is consumed by fear. The silence is its weapon, letting her imagination conjure terrifying possibilities. The occupant is a silent partner in a dance that has lasted 16 years. Eleanor has no idea when or if the music will stop. She is bound to it, and it to her, in a relationship beyond understanding. The silence is not empty, it is full of meaning. Every day she wonders, what is it waiting for? And what will happen when the waiting ends? The answer remains locked inside her, silent as ever. The medical community is baffled by Eleanor's case. Her file is thick with failed scans and frustrated notes. Dr. Aris Thorne, her specialist, calls it the Vance anomaly. Ultrasounds show a dense humanoid form, always cloudy, as if shielded. MRIs are inconclusive. Amniocentesis needles bend against the sac. Theories range from stone baby to teratoma, but nothing fits. The case is legend, a puzzle with no solution. Outside hospitals, the theories grow darker: curses, changelings, something not of this world. Eleanor can't dismiss these ideas. Her own mind wanders down those paths at night. Science can't explain the strangeness, the feeling she is host to something ancient. Dr. Thorne admits her case keeps him awake. Her body sends all the signals of a healthy pregnancy. But the occupant breaks every rule, bending her biology to its will. It is a mystery that science cannot solve. Eleanor's house is both sanctuary and prison. It's the only place she can exist without stares or questions. The nursery upstairs is untouched, a monument to a dream deferred. She never enters. The door has been closed for over a decade. The rest of the house is adapted for her limitations. Wide paths, handrails. But the atmosphere is heavy, saturated with suspense. Clocks tick louder, floorboards creak with meaning. Sometimes the house feels part of the phenomenon. Temperatures drop, whispers echo. She wonders if the house is connected to her condition, part of the ecosystem sustaining the occupant. It is another layer to the mystery. The house waits with her, holding its breath. Every room is a reminder of the life she never had. The house, like Eleanor, is suspended in time. 16 years is a long time to put a life on hold. Eleanor's friends have moved on. Marriages, children, careers. Her own life is a single repeated image, waiting. She watches others' milestones from afar, each one a reminder of what she's lost. Her days are stripped to routine: wake, eat, rest, sleep. She cannot work, travel, or plan for the future. Her existence is paradoxical, never alone, yet profoundly lonely. The financial strain is constant. The world has no place for a 16-year pregnancy. She is a statistical anomaly, forced to shrink her world to survive. Hope has become dangerous. Years of waiting have replaced it with resignation. She no longer asks when it will end. She wonders if it ever will. Perhaps this is her life, a permanent state of waiting. She is a vessel for an eternal passenger. The cost is measured in lost years, in dreams deferred. Her life is limbo, her future held hostage. She is not just waiting for birth. She is waiting for release, and the waiting never ends. On the 16th anniversary, something changed. It wasn't a kick or a roll, but a slow, rhythmic vibration deep within her. It was a tremor, a shudder that passed through the occupant and into her. For the first time in 16 years, the occupant acted. The vibration lasted a minute, a low hum that made her teeth ache. The silence was broken, replaced by a charged, terrifying energy. Throughout the day, the vibrations returned, growing stronger. She could feel them in the floorboards, see water ripple in a glass. The occupant was tuning itself, calibrating to an unknown frequency. Eleanor didn't call Dr. Thorne. What could she say? This new activity brought a new kind of fear. The stillness had been terrifying, but this was worse. The occupant was no longer passive. It was preparing for something. As night fell, Eleanor felt the deep pulses and knew she was the epicenter of an impending earthquake. The waiting was over. Something was coming. Urgency drove Eleanor to Dr. Thorne. She described the vibrations, the constant humming. He asked her to come in immediately for an ultrasound. In the darkened room, the familiar cloudy image appeared. Then the humming began. Dr. Thorne's composure vanished as the interference cleared. For the first time, the image resolved. It was not a child, not a tumor, something else entirely. The shape was humanoid, but wrong. Limbs too long, head too large. Inside, something was unfolding, geometric structures like wings of shadow and light. Eleanor stared, breathless, at the impossible. The occupant was complex, organized, and changing. The humming intensified, the wings unfurled. Dr. Thorne was speechless, hands shaking. What he saw defied all rationality. It was something that should not exist, and it was alive inside Eleanor. The mystery had become a revelation. The silence was finally broken. The drive home was a blur. Eleanor clutched the ultrasound prints. The images burned into her mind. The humming in her womb now felt like a message, a signal sent out into the world. That night she sat by the window, the humming stronger than ever, rattling the glass. 16 years of waiting were not an accident. They were an incubation. The occupant had needed time to grow, to prepare. The unfolding wings were not the end, but the beginning. Eleanor realized she was not just a vessel. She was the key. The humming is a beacon, a signal in the darkness. This story is not just a medical curiosity, it is a warning. The question is no longer what is inside Eleanor Vance. The question is, what will you do when it answers the call? Our world has been the nursery. The 16-year silence is about to be broken. Look to the skies. Listen for the hum. The waiting is over. The signal has been sent. And the world will never be the same. The silence is ending. Are you ready? Ending.